Thank you. Thank you for that warm welcome. Thank you very much. This was very very squeaky chairs. I was very off-put. It was very off-putting. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe the appropriate response to that is Roll Tide. This was very nearly one of the most expensive stops on my Dangerous Faggot tour. It was nearly cost me 2.5 Louis Vuitton handbags to speak to you this evening. After your university tried to charge the college Republicans $8,000 for security costs. Well, the only person at risk here is me. And I bring Navy SEALs, so I'm fine. No, this is a new kind of censorship that colleges is a new innovation. You know, colleges are always innovating. One of the ways they're innovating is in how to stop conservative speakers coming to campus, and they're very good at that. So this new security fee censorship, they call it fee speech, is a new way. Is a new way that you can stop speakers you don't like from appearing on campus by pretending that their presence will cause such a ruckus that you are required to employ hundreds of thousands of police officers. As happened at UC Irvine, I think they had 5 different police forces, not to protect me or you, of course, but just to keep at bay the hordes of crazy liberal loons outside. It is, you know, the thing that these universities don't tell you is what they're worried about isn't us. What they're worried about is their own students going mental because they can't cope with new ideas. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about censorship. I was going to talk to you about the debate, but I think we all know what happened at the debate. Now, Donald Trump is a changed man since he made those comments 11 years ago. He's grown up, he's reformed, but if this were 11 years ago, he might have referred to last night as a brutal schlonging, because that's certainly what it was. Hillary Clinton hasn't been this upset since the last round of White House intern auditions. Did you see his face last night? You know, they cut to him and he's like, poor Chelsea, sitting next to her stepdad. As you know, you know when liberals have lost the argument, you know when they know that they've got nothing, is when they start complaining about the tone. The tone. Milo Yiannopoulos shouldn't come to college, just lowers the tone. People at Stanford at the moment working out whether they're going to allow me in. I'm just not sure he's, you know, our sort of person. And of course, last night, you know, Trump won so convincingly that this morning the media is talking about his tone. He lowered the tone. We've had some, you know, highfalutin register. We've had some elevated elitist language in the media and politics for quite some time, and it hasn't really served anyone very well. So I, for one, am quite happy with this new populist spirit in America. I think it's wonderful. Now, Trump, of course, is a changed reform man, as I said. You know, he did commit a terrible sin. He expressed sexual interest in a woman. These days, enough to get you expelled. I mean, you know, you guys have to be very careful doing stuff like that. You can fall afoul of these kangaroo courts. You know, you sort of touch a woman on the arm and find yourself led off in chains, you know. Good heavens, it's ridiculous. Anyway, last night, the debate had everything. He said Hillary should be in jail. You know, you can sort of tell, the reason I love him so much, he's such a shitlord. He's this mischievous little, he's got this mischievous little like moment on his face, and she's like, you know, she's sort of squawking, you know, very happy that nobody with the disposition of Donald Trump is, you know, running the law in America. And he's like, 'cause you'd be in jail. You know, it's like, wonderful. I love him. I love him. He's absolutely wonderful. Roll, daddy, roll. Now, as some of you may be aware, I was in New York yesterday and Saturday night participating in an art show, further evidence of the intolerance of the left. They cannot cope with the tables being turned on them. Art has for decades been the province of the left. They have liked to skewer Christians, skewer conservatives, make fun of anybody with remotely conservative and now even libertarian beliefs. But they don't like it Upham. And so when we flipped the script on Saturday night and invited Trump-friendly artists to exhibit works in a gallery, well, first of all, they had the gallery call it off, so we had to move. Second of all, they orchestrated a sort of media blackout. They were all the 300 journalists on a list together, all saying, should we cover it? No, let's just pretend it didn't happen. Let's pretend it happened. Well, Milo Yiannopoulos bathing in pig's blood to represent the blood of innocents slaughtered by illegal aliens and Islamic terrorists in the center of New York is not so difficult to, is not so easy to ignore, really. And indeed nobody did. The Gothamist today came out and, Gothamist came, don't I look lovely? I even look hot, drenched in blood. No, Gothamist came out today with a post, and the whole thing is just her complaining that I got blood on her. And she was just sort of standing there, and I just thought I'd, ruin the dress. I was very happy about that. It'd be easy to dismiss my performance as attention-seeking, as absurd as it may sound to me for anyone to accuse me of attention-seeking. Stop it. It would be easy to dismiss it, but illegal immigration is not a subject to be lightly dismissed, and nor is Islamic terror, and nor are the people who enable it, who mollycoddle it, who pander to the worst elements entering the United States. And I often like to say that I'm here as a sort of warning from Europe. They don't want you to go the way that we have gone. Well, it isn't just a problem for people who live in cities like New York, when 9/11 happens and things like that. It's also a problem here. I wonder how many of you know about Tad Mattel and Lee Anna Jimison. Do you know these names? Well, one of the reasons you don't know them is that they were killed in 2009 in Alabama in a drunk driving accident by an illegal alien who had already been arrested once and was allowed to remain in this country. So why don't we take a moment to remember them? These people who never had an opportunity to attend this or any other college, thanks to somebody who should never have been in this country. Thank you. That's not the only moment of solemnity today. It is, of course, Columbus Day. Which is it's okay, you're allowed to laugh now, it's all right. It is Columbus Day. It's a great national tragedy. 524 years ago, Christopher Columbus came to America, and what a disaster that was. One of those awful moments in history where the civilization takes a turn for the worse. The Third World War, the Dark Ages, and Columbus Day. I mean, come on, they didn't even invent the wheel. What? It's true. I'm not even remotely the most deplorable person on this subject. There'll be people on the internet far worse than me, saying far worse things than me. Now, liberal. He's here actually. So if you, I mean, maybe Hillary's right. Yeah, this is pretty deplorable. Where is he? Where are you? Now, don't act shocked. I know you think that you're not supposed to laugh at stuff like this, but what we're basically talking about is shifting civilizations, shifting cultures, shifting societies. The left hates success. It hates aspiration. It hates glamour. It hates anything that wins. Well, Europeans won. We won a lot of stuff. You're all wearing our suits and speaking our language. We basically invented you. And I like to think we did a pretty fucking great job. This country's wonderful. It's a wonderful country. I'm very pleased to be back in the South, by the way. It is not just the charming... You know, something that always strikes me And I kind of knew this was going to be the case, but I'm very happy to have been proven right about this. You know, you come down to the South in America, and you sort of, you know, everybody assumes that you're either on your way to buying a cross to burn, or you're burning one at any one time. Well, that's what you would believe if you listen to people who live in New York and Los Angeles. My experience of the South has been a little different. My experience of the South has been characterized by compassion and warmth and kindness. People who walk up to me and say, yeah, I love you, man. Yeah, listen, if you're ever in the area, come around my house for tea, you know. I don't say it like that, because that would be the British way of saying it, but that does happen. And it's very moving to me. The sort of, the sincerity and compassion down here makes a mockery of the ugly, sociopathic nastiness of the coastal elites, of the kind of people who worked for Gorka, and who now work for, sad, isn't it? Once again, natural selection in operation. The South is a wonderful place. Not least, nobody told me all the hot black guys were down here. If I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered with Los Angeles. We're going to talk about another black guy, one I don't like so much. We're not talking about Hillary today. We're going to. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about a black man I don't find particularly attractive. He just looks so gay. We're going to talk. President of the United States. They got the gall to call Trump unpresidential. What I'm going to talk to you about today is actually a very serious subject, and something of a technical subject, but it really matters to you. Who here uses the internet? Presumably all of you. Anybody here use 4chan? Oh, you do? Lots of you, lots of you. Would you be okay with me buying it? Should I buy it? All right. Oh. We'll see. But I want to talk to you about a serious technical subject. You're going to learn something this evening. I've entertained you for a little bit. Now you're going to learn something. I want to talk to you about a little bit, and you're going to groan, but I want you to pay attention. It is about the way that the internet is put together and what this man just did.